everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day, wonderful Halloween day. I'm going without a script on this, and I really don't think this is a good idea, but I'm doing my best. I really didn't have the time to do a script, but hopefully this is good enough. So I'm showcasing all of my Inktober pieces for the month of Inktober. If you don't know what Inktober is, it is a drawing sort of challenge that you can do for the month of October, where you have to each day draw a artwork all in ink. Now you can use colored pencils to color in stuff or other things to color in stuff, but the piece mainly has to be in ink, whether it be traditional ink or digital, just any type of ink. And I didn't really use the normal Inktober prompt because of everything that was going on with that, so I just did my own sort of prompt where I drew each of my original characters in different Halloween costume, whether they be by themselves in a costume or together with another character. I just did that, and so we'll get into that and I'll show each one. So for the first day, I drew my character Lee, who is the main character of my comic, Adventures in Faresla. It's on Tapas if you want to read it. But I drew her as a witch, sort of showing some elements and themes from her original design with her little top, and I think that was really cool. But the broom I don't think I did as good of a job on it. I think it's okay, but the tip at the end I really don't know, but I'm pretty proud of how this one came out. And the next one for day 2, I drew my Owl House OC Nikki as of course a Dracula vampire, because she is in fact a vampire in the illusion tract. If you watch Owl House, you would know the different tracks that they have, but I just drew her in a little Dracula costume with her little little spell, and I thought this one turned out really good. I had a little trouble on getting the outfit how I wanted it to look, but and you'll see that with a lot of the drawings. I had a little bit of trouble figuring out where I wanted to put stuff and how I wanted stuff to go, but other than that, I think this one is alright. Okay, so the next drawing I did for day 3, I drew my She-Ra OC Zola as a ghost. This was kind of this was kind of mainly done because there was a challenge in the She-Ra Mino, where I am, where you had to draw your character sort of like a ghost in a ghost theme, and I thought that was perfect to do for her for this day, to kind of incorporate that into the Inktober drawing. And I was mainly just working on posing with this one because of how the arms are going, because that's one thing I know I struggle on a bit, is trying to do different poses, trying to figure out how those different poses work, just to make my drawings, seem different, not all the same posing and stuff like that. And I really like this one. I don't know what I was doing with the little wind streaks, or I think I was trying to do there, but other than that, I like this one. Next one for day 4, I believe it is Nia my OC Nia as a haunted sort of doll. I saw this costume online somewhere. I think it was Target, maybe Spirit. I don't remember, but I really liked the design of it, and I wanted to see if I could try to fit that on one of my characters. And because Nia is kind of short, a little small, I figured the doll sort of a costume would fit on her, and I tried to make the scary sort of pose, as if she's sort of looking down someone, sort of an eerie kind of pose. And I kind of think that it worked out, not as much as I hoped it would, but I like how the posing sort of worked out and the coloring. So next day was a OC of mine, Kate, who was also part of my comic series, as a sort of demon. This was another costume I believe I saw on some website or a store when I was looking for my own costume this year. And I saw it and I was let me see if I can sort of do a different spin on this. So I gave it a little top and a little skirt, sort of in like dark skirt and gave it a little like tail and horns. And the only problem I have with this drawing is like the eyes. Like, I really think I could have done better on the eyes, but I think I was doing this drawing in like a hurry and I just had to like slap the eyes on real quick and post it. I really can't remember that well, but other than the eyes, I think this one is fine. And next day, another OC is Viper as a Grim Reaper. Viper is an acrobat, and I wanted to give her sort of like flowing, able, like easy to move, like costume. So I gave like this Grim Reaper sort of like gown. It's like flowing off the side, like one of those, like, I don't know what to call them, but like those side dresses with like the open like sort of side, and the scythe sort of like looming up over her head. On her shoulders, and I think like the perspective on that I did a bit better, but I could have done better on that one, but I think it turned out pretty well. And so the next drawing, my OC's Coco and Lulu as Cat Noir and Ladybug from the Miraculous Ladybug show. I honestly put this show off for like a while, like watching it. I was like, I don't really want to, but then I like started watching it during quarantine, and it was it's cute. I like that aspect of it, and I was like, I really want to draw one of my characters in like these outfits, but I never got the chance to. And as soon as like Inktober came and I was looking for one for like Coco and Lulu, I just immediately like stopped in my head like this is perfect. So I did it sort of like Lulu, the one with the blonde hair, is sort of like swinging down over Coco, and I kind of like messed up, I think, on the tail for Coco, so I like redid it. I can't remember how I redid it. I must have like put over a different sheet, just tried it again, but other than that, this one turned out well. Next one, pretty sure most would know this. I'm one of those people who has been playing a lot of Among Us in quarantine, so I of course made an Among Us OC off of my main color, pink. So I drew pink as an imposter, and with the little knife that they have in the game, and sort of like the blood splatters. I don't think they had the blood splatters in the game when you're imposter, but I just added that as a sort of look. I really wish I was better at drawing like hands holding stuff. That's one thing I'm not as good at other things, is definitely hands, and I really think I could have done better on that hand holding the knife, but other than that, I think this one is fine. I really like the sort of shading over the eyes, kind of also makes her like looking down over, like, I don't know, the dead crewmate or something, but yeah, I think this one is pretty good. And the next one is Mira, as a sort of like rose outfit. I tried to do like the dress like it was a bunch of roses clustered together, but I'm still trying to get better at drawing flowers, so I don't think it came off the exact way I wanted. Mira is a mermaid, specifically like sort of like a dolphin sort of mermaid, and I tried to pose the tail the best I could on the sheet of paper, but it kind of is going like off at the end. But I like how the like sort of roses sort of like clustered together in like this dress, and I don't think this was based off of an actual costume. I just kind of had the idea in my head, but I'd say it turned out pretty well. Next one is a Little Witch Academia OC of mine, Coral as an angel. This is kind of like, the posing is sort of like as if she was like looking back at someone with like the back turned and the head facing. I really liked how the posing came out, because I was so worried. I was like, I've never done this before. It's probably just going to turn out like garbage, but I really liked how the posing and stuff turned out, and I realized after posting it in the art amino that I had forgotten to put the little halo over her head, and I was like, shoot, so I had to fix that later on, but this one is pretty good. Next day, I can't remember the day, but this day was Jewel as sort of like a 50s sock hop girl. I was actually I actually had like an old costume of mine. It's like a Grease sort of costume that I wore last year, and I like was flipping through my closet and I saw it and I was like, I should definitely draw Jewel in something like this. So I drew it. It was pretty good. I love like 50s clothes, so it was really fun to draw this. Especially like, and I showed it to like a friend of mine. She like loves 50s clothes, and she like just thought this was super cute. So yeah, I like this one. Next one, this is also from a game that I've been playing a lot in quarantine. My Sky Children of Light OC Kanara as a werewolf. Now, I really like this game. Nobody I've talked to, nobody like I know has played it, and it's a really good game. I based this OC off of like my main character's like design in the game, and I wanted to do like a cute little werewolf costume with like the little paws and the werewolf shirt and like a little tattered sort of like skirt, but I think that one turned out pretty well. Next drawing is an OC of mine, Sally, as Sarah Berry. Now, I don't know if a lot of people know of this song or the musical that it's from, but it's from the 33-minute musical. I think that's what it's called. And it's a song, The Ballad of Sarah Berry, and where it's like this teenager who's running for prom queen, and she gets so obsessed over it that she starts to kill for the title. And I wanted to, because the character of mine, Sally, has some really kind of strict parents that are always wanting her to be like perfect and strive for the best. And I wanted to draw her just kind of like the point where she snaps, kind of like in the song for Sarah Berry, and I think it turned out pretty well. But knives, they are a pain to draw. Next one is my Gravity Falls character, Madeline, as Wart from Over the Garden Wall. I love both Gravity Falls and Over the Garden Wall, and they are like sort of atmospheres and vibes really kind of fit with each other. They are really reminiscent of the other, and I wanted to draw Over a Garden Wall inspired like art for a long time now, because I love the atmosphere of that show. Like the fall atmosphere of it is so pretty, and this is the closest I could get with like drawing a character of mine as one of those characters. So I drew Madeline, who is like a worrywart sort of worrywart, as of course Wart from Over the Garden Wall, who's also sort of like worrisome, a bit paranoid. And I thought that like the personalities sort of like fit well together for this one. Next one is my another Steven Universe OC of mine, Rose Pearl as a sort of dark ballerina. This is kind of based off that. I think the movie is called Black Swan, but it's kind of based off of the movie where like the main character is like taken over by this sort of like dark entity, and it's given her like because they're doing Swan Lake in the movie, I believe, and when she's practicing she gets overcome by this spirit and it turns her into like sort of a black swan. And I wanted to draw something like that for this piece, and because my character Rose Pearl is a dancer for court soldiers on Homeworld, sort of like an entertainer, and I wanted to like fit that in with like the dancer aspect, and I think they turned out really well. I love the costume. I thought that turned out really well. It doesn't necessarily give off the entire ballerina vibe, but I still kind of like how the design came out. Next one is my another two OCs of mine, Coco and Maria, as a familiar and a witch. Maria and Coco are best friends. Maria's mother was a witch, and it turns out that she has her mother's powers. Coco is her best friend, and they both try to go out and seek the mystery of how Maria's mother died, and just that's kind of their main story. And I wanted to draw Maria in sort of like a witch costume. I imagine like she found her mother's old witch costume and decided to wear it, and Coco just wanted to tag along and dressed as like a familiar, and I thought that was really cute. Next drawing is also my Steven Universe OC Rose Pearl with my second Steven Universe character, Lavender Spinel, as Princess Peach and Mario. When I first saw the Steven Universe movie and I realized like Spinels were actually existing gem in the universe, I was like, oh, I loved it, and I wanted to draw mine so bad because I had an idea for a second character to go along with Rose Pearl's story, but I didn't know what I wanted the character to be. I was originally going to have her as just like a court soldier of some sort, but I was like, I saw Spinel, I was like, oh, maybe I can make her a Spinel, and so I changed up the story a bit to make her a Spinel. But I liked the fun little aspect of this because of course Spinels are kind of short and pearls are like really tall, so I loved this aspect of like Pearl is Princess Peach and Spinel is Mario. I just thought that was really cute, and yeah, I really like this one. Next one as Lulu as Dawn from the musical Waitress. I don't know. Well, I do know a few people that listen to this musical, but if you don't know of it, Waitress is a musical about a restaurant of these three waitresses, they're friends, and, stuff happens. Dawn is pregnant. I don't know too much about this musical. I have listened to a couple songs, but from what I know, she gets pregnant and has to deal with that while also having a husband that's kind of a jerk. But I really think like her personality, her like sort of timid, like sweet personality, like fit with Lulu's. And Lulu in Coco's story is also sort of waitress. She's technically a barista, but I kind of I leapt over that just to draw this. And next one is Coco as a magician. This one I really like how like the posing and stuff came out. I worked like days on this one because I was like okay, this was when I was doing Inktober, I was taking exams around that time, and I got behind a couple days, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to catch up, but also like make sure I'm still giving the best I can on these artworks. And Coco's drawing in particular took a bit of a long time because I wanted to get the pose just right. I was so worried. I was like, I have to get the posing right on this. I have to get this right about it. And I think that it turned out pretty well with the posing. This is also one where it's kind of like looking down, sort of. I'm noticing a theme with these, but like also kind of looking down with like the cards in her hand. Again, with like the hand holding stuff, I really need to get better at that, but I don't think it's too bad of a problem with this one. Next one is Sonia as a medieval knight. Sonia is my my original character for the show. Smile Precure. I'm pretty sure not many people know of this show, but I watched it when I was maybe like 10, I think, and like I revisited it a couple years later, and I was like, you know what, this show is kind of cute, and I made my own character for it who is like Precure Knight, and I wanted to draw, of course, a medieval knight costume to fit with that. This is also kind of based on a costume that I saw in the store maybe a couple years ago, and I had the idea sort of like in my head a bit, sort of like vaguely in my head, and I did the best I could with it. Armor is not necessarily my strong suit, and I know I need to get better at drawing that, but the patterning of the armor I did sort of like for this one. Next one is another Little Witch Academia OC of mine, Danny as a fox. Danny is super like a chill sort of girl. She loves comics, she loves drawing, she loves video games. She's a little chilled out kind of. And I was like Danny would not like go full out for a costume, like get something elaborate and decorative and just all amazing, like intricate and stuff. So I was like, you know what, Danny would just wear a onesie and call it a day. So I just gave her a little fox onesie with like the hood and the ears and the tail, and I really liked it. I forgot to draw the tail. I forgot to add in the tail when I was about to post it, and I was like, oh, I need to add the tail because it's not even a fox if I don't add a tail. So fixed that, and it turned out really well. Next one is Lavender Spinel again as a pirate. I did take some inspiration from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie of their women's outfits and sort of incorporated it in. The hat The hat is kind of inspired from like an old hat of mine from like a play or something, because I do not know how to draw pirate hats. I'm very sorry, but that I kind of used that as a reference, and I'd say it turned out okay. Next day, I drew Tangled, the series OCs of mine, Tori and Serafina. And now, I loved the Tangled movie. I loved the series. And I later, after the series was on maybe its second season, I made my own characters for it. Tori and Serafina. Tori is a bounty hunter and who just so happens to meet Serafina, and they become friends. Serafina is a singer in Corona, and the town, not the, but Serafina is a singer. She takes her in after finding her, and they become best friends, and they live at Serafina's house, and that's the setup for their story. And I wanted to draw them as Sailor Scouts because I loved Sailor Moon when I was little. I didn't watch it as much as a lot of other shows because we didn't have the channel it was on for only for a couple of years, but I still really liked it, and I like drawing the Sailor Moon outfits, so I wanted to draw them for Tori and Serafina, and I really like how these came out. Next day was Coral, all of my Little Witch Academia OCs, Coral, Danny, and Rosa as the crystal gems from Steven Universe. I'm a big fan of Steven Universe, big fan of Little Witch Academia, and I wanted to fit this trio into those costumes because I actually think the personalities fit kind of well. Coral is sort of the petite one. Danny is the laid-back, sort of chill one. Rosa is sort of like the leader, more serious type. And of course, I drew them as Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, because I like fitting the personalities with the costumes a lot, and I think these fit pretty well. Next one for day 26, I believe. I can't really tell. I wrote these so small, but for this day, I drew Sally and Charlie as Sally and Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas movie. I am not going to say that I based this completely off of the fact that there were both two Sallys. I, of course, did not draw this for that specific reason only. But I did like the personalities of the two, and I really liked this movie growing up. And I wanted to draw these two characters, and because Charlie is super tall and Sally is a lot shorter, I drew her sort of bending down. Sort of trying to match her height, but I thought that was cute. Next day, as I mentioned before, I was a huge fan of Tangled when I was younger, so I drew Jewel and Max, my characters Jewel and Max, as Rapunzel and Eugene from the movie. I like how this came out. I like the dress. I love drawing Rapunzel's dress. I used to draw it when I draw all the Disney princesses when I was younger, and I looked back at them and I was like, I could definitely do better now. And I liked drawing that sort of the side pose. I had a bit of trouble, the ink in my pen was running out. I was really? Only after a couple weeks of using it? And so Jules, I think I had a problem with Jules' hair on the ink running out, but I had to fix that. But yeah, this turned out really well. Next one is my third character from my comic, Rain, as sort of in a 20s outfit. I was originally going to draw him as in the Newsies outfits, which is around the same time from Newsies from the musical, but I was because my internet was messing up that day, so I was I cannot go and find a reference. I'll just draw him in a 20s outfit. And I think this one turned out really well. Rain's hair has changed a lot over the years that I've been drawing him. Originally, it was all spiky and sort of anime-like when I was 7, when I first created them. And originally it changed from then to sort of even more spiky with sort of a Dragon Ball kind of look to it. And even this has still a bit of those elements in it, but I don't know if his hairstyle is going to change again because he hasn't been introduced in the comic just yet. So I don't know if that's going to change. It may not. It may just go back to how it was before. I really don't know, but I like how this one came out. Next one, day 28, I believe, is Serafina as a mummy. I was halfway through all of this, and I was like, it's almost the end of the Inktober, and I didn't draw anybody as a mummy, because, like, of course, that's a Halloween staple, so I quickly, like, drew Serafina as a cute little mummy. I kind of based it off, like, I forgot what her name was. I don't know if she has a name, but that mummy girl in OKKO with, like, the little pink bow. I wanted to draw, like, a cute little mummy, sort of like that, and I like how it came out. Next one, Tori as a cowgirl. This is also a drawing where I just kind of came up with the costume idea on my own, not really choosing a reference or anything. I did choose a reference for, like, the handkerchief, because I didn't know how to draw those, like, cowboy handkerchiefs. And so I did the best I could on that, but I really liked the posing for this one, like, sort of like the walking sideways, sort of like cowboy stride. And I think this was really fun. The next drawing, day 30, is the Little Witch Academia OC Rosa in a Dia de los Muertos sort of skeleton outfit, because Rosa and her family are originally from Mexico, and she loved this holiday growing up because it was one of the few she could celebrate with her family, because another time her parents were very strict, and wanted her to be to focus on studies and become a very important and revered witch, as her mother was, and they didn't necessarily allow her to go out on many holidays, but this was one of the few she did, and I figured to draw her in this outfit because the holiday was so special to her. And the final day, I did not draw any of my OCs, but on the final day I drew me, because I ran out of anyone to draw or ideas for anybody else, so I just did me on the last day in the outfit that I am actually wearing today. And I think, because I hate drawing myself, it's the same thing with, like, taking pictures of myself. I don't like doing that either, but, like, it's hard to draw myself, even though that's kind of a bit of a part of what I do. But I do like the outfit. Of course, I just used the reference of, like, going into my closet and finding the outfit, but I like how I drew it and everything. I like the actual costume has, like, an iridescent sort of thing on the moon and stars on the skirt, but I did not know how to do that on an ink drawing, so I just colored it in sort of silvery, and I really like how that came out. So those are my Inktober drawings. Those are all of them, all the way through. I don't know if I'm doing Inktober again next year, considering every year I'm usually busy around this time with exams and other stuff like that, so I don't know if I'll be doing Inktober next year, but if I do, I probably will be doing another one of these sort of Inktober little showcases, and if I have enough time, it'll hopefully be a bit more well thought out than this. It'll hopefully have a script and stuff, and I'm sorry for, with no script, and I'm sorry if the microphone is a little bit wonky. I wish I had an actual, like, microphone set up, but that is not how it's set up just yet. Hopefully I can get that soon. But I hope you all like this. I hope you all enjoyed this, and let me know if you guys did Inktober, or what your favorite drawings that you did was, or or whatever you're doing for Halloween in this coronavirus time. If you're staying home, watching movies, just staying inside and being safe. But thank you all for listening and watching this, and I hope you enjoy your Halloween. Bye-bye.